Talia Natachu is your class speaker. The Provost Selection Committee chose Talia for this honor from a group of outstanding candidates nominated by our academic programs. Talia graduates today with a bachelor's degree in English literature with a secondary education emphasis and minors in American Indian Studies and Education and Social Justice. Talia grew up on the Zuni Pueblo in New Mexico. When she arrived at Western as a freshman in 2012, she felt intimidated, afraid, and homesick. She spent her first year missing her family in New Mexico and wondering if Western was the right place for her. Then during her sophomore year, Talia was introduced to the Native American Student Union and found the sense of belonging she had been looking for. Joining the club allowed her to share her story with people who understood what she was going through. And although the other students were from other tribes across the United States, they shared a similar identity. Talia served as the co-chair of the Native American Student Union for 3 years and has continued to create a space where students are able to come together in an inclusive environment and share their own stories. She also found her home in the classroom, where she developed a love for teaching and a passion for multicultural education. This past October, Talia presented at 2 conferences, the National Indian Education Association Conference in Portland and the National Association for Multicultural Education Conference in New Orleans. At both conferences, she shared her research on the importance of multicultural education and how implementing knowledge and practice of students' cultures can improve their learning experiences. Talia still dreams of returning to that Zuni Pueblo, and her goal is to teach there, but not yet. She's been accepted into Stanford University's teacher education program and has applied for a Fulbright Educational Exchange Program fellowship to teach English in Malaysia. She also is waiting to hear back from Portland State University's American Indian Teacher Program. So please welcome your class speaker, Talia Natachu.
Keshi koton lagin napka, hot Talia nada chulechina, hot shiwi, hot dakya ko down yatokya ko awan chatle. Hello everybody, how are y'all doing? My name is Talia Natachu. I'm Zuni from the Zuni Pueblo in New Mexico, and my clans are a frog and a child of the sun. Okay. I first want to start by acknowledging the land we stand upon. Western Washington University and the city of Bellingham occupy Nooksack and Lummi Nation land. We must understand that they will always be the original caretakers of this land, and I thank them for allowing me to pursue my education here in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you. And thank you all for the opportunity to speak before you all today. I just want to again acknowledge the people who have gotten me here today and who will continue to guide me and support me on my journey. My family, they're all up there. Can we recognize that there's 12 people all the way up there from Zuni? Thank you. My parents, my brother, my cousins, my entire family, my grandparents, friends, thank you so much. If it weren't for you all today, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you. I love you. I also want to recognize the other tribal members who couldn't make it today because they wouldn't give me more than 12 tickets. So, I want to also thank my roommates, my professors, my friends, and my ancestors, because if it wasn't for their resiliency and their resistance, I would not be here today. I want you all to take a moment to look around and take in the blessings, the love, and the accomplishments that surround us all. I want to recognize all the graduates here. I'm sure that we've all had our shares of exams, papers, sleepless nights, and just life's unexpected challenges, but we made it. And great job, everybody. This is a major milestone in our lives, and it deserves to be praised. But now, I want to ask the real question. What are we going to do next? We finally have this piece of paper that we spent years getting, not to mention the thousands of dollars. Is there any out-of-state students here? Okay. These pieces of paper say we have some agency in society. So how are we going to use this privilege to change the world? Active minds changing lives, right? We need to recognize the time we are living in right now. This is a revolutionary time. This may sound unreal, maybe even scary, but it is happening. We live in a time when people are finally claiming that it is time for justice, and real justice, to be realized. We need to recognize that we all play a role in contributing to these movements. It is time for us to decide whether we will be complacent in these systems that exclude and hurt people, or whether we will take the initiative to actively engage in conversations and movements towards inclusivity and equity, while recognizing the deep hurt and the material effects of systems of oppression and colonization. We must look to our elders, who have fought these battles before us, for advice. They worked hard to make sure we had the opportunities to pursue our dreams. Now we must think about those who come after us. How are we going to make sure that our future generations will thrive? What things are we going to advocate for? What things are we going to believe in? What things are we going to create? We are in ideal positions and possess incredible skills and abilities to contribute to this movement. We have all experienced a roller coaster of events here at Western Washington University, especially for students who exist in the precarious spaces in and between systems of disempowerment and control. From campus being shut down due to death threats, to students being pushed out of this institution due to the lack of support, we need to recognize how we all play a role in addressing those issues and creating solutions. For instance, Western has received demands from the Student Assembly for Power and Liberation. They are in a position to respond to change or continue to ignore larger societal issues. In my dream of the future, a return to Western as an alumna would mean a return to a place that had a space like the College of Power and Liberation. That was dedicated to the histories, literatures, and intellectual contributions of communities that have been silenced for most of this nation's history. In this future, I will be welcomed back to a campus that recognizes its reciprocal relationship to the Native peoples and lands whose generosity we depend on daily. This, to me, will look like the creation of a traditional Coast Salish longhouse on Western's campus. Like Western, each one of us is in a position to contribute to this movement towards justice. I imagine this future in order to envision what this justice could look like, and I ask you to do the same with me. And I really appreciate that Molly and Bruce, you both recognize that this is not an individual thing. We are coming together, and that they said it. They have our back, so we can do this. After all our struggles, survivals, and accomplishments, after we celebrate after the fact that we made it and that we are still here, what are we going to do now? Not just what our job will be, not just where we'll be living next year. What vision of the future do we have for the world? How can we bring that into being? Let's take responsibility for creating a better future. This is to thank our elders, prepare for the future, and to fulfill ourselves. Congratulations to everyone. I am proud of us and look forward to the powerful things that we will do.
Thank you, Talia, for those thoughtful and heartfelt words.